One of these is a group of modules and the other one is nested modules. Which one do you use and what is the difference? That's what we're going to tackle in today's video, and we're also going to find out which one is the best approach when designing your websites. All right, so for us to know which is which, you can't tell by looking because they look very, very identical. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to our layers, and this is how it's going to be clearly visible. So here we can see that this is a group, and you can see as soon as I mouse over it, it shows you the boundary. So this is the group, which is this one right here. And when I click here, you can see everything is inside the group. The other one now is this heading, and then it has text and a button inside it. So this is nested and this is a group. So the question now is, when do you use either of these options? So if you wanted to group modules together, your starting point is groups. So you would come over here and then choose group, and then in that group is when you start adding all your modules. So let's start with a heading, and then after that we can go in and click here, add a paragraph or text like that, and then we can also go in here, add a button, for example. But of course it can be any modules you need to add. Okay, so everything starts with a group, and whatever you apply in here is applying to the group. So let's say, for example, we want to go in and change the layout a little bit. We can come over here, change the direction, and you can see now everything is in a row. If you want, you can change the direction now. It starts with the button and so on. So let's just bring it back here to columns. So when is this ideal? Pretty much if you want to group modules together. This is when it's ideal. And when you save items to the library, it's going to save them as a group. This is the main difference. So let's get rid of this and do another option. So if we want to nest modules inside other modules, we're going to start here with, let's say, heading. So we'll select our heading here. So our heading now has become our starting point. So with our heading selected here, we can go to elements and then add elements. So this is where we can say, okay, we're going to add, let's say, our text module. I'm going to select that. And inside this text module, we may even want to add, something else. So now notice that I've selected this. I can go to my elements here, add elements. So you can see our elements here. We have our text. I can go in and add my button like that. Okay, so now we have our text and our button, but it's inside our heading element. So our heading now is acting as the main thing that encompasses whatever it is that's inside. But the starting line is the heading, as compared to the previous example where the starting point is the group itself. So with this now, this becomes a heading module, which has been modified. How cool is that? But here's the thing. We also have all the controls that we need. So if I come over here and click on this gear icon, I can go into design, layout, but notice over here on the top, right here, it says heading. I have these layout directions in Flexbox. Look at that. Similar to how it is in the groups, I can change direction and I can bring it back to how it was. But when I save this to the library, it is saved as a module, not as a group. So here's the thing now. Let's say you are designing a layout and you want to decide what to use and when. So I would say, if you want to group items together, for example, let's say you have your equal columns here, and we're going to start with a group. And in this group, we're going to add, let's say, a heading. Choose my heading there. And then after the heading, after the heading, I need to add, let's say, the paragraph text, just like before. And pretty much that's all I need to add in here, right? So what I can do is I can click here on this plus button, add another group, and then in this group, I can have an image like that. And then let's choose an image. I'm sure I have an image behind. Okay, yes, sure, I have an image. So let's choose this image here. And then after this image, making sure I'm still within my group, I can add, let's say, a bar counter, right? So with this now, you're probably thinking, okay, so what can we do? We have two groups now. Well, this is how things get really excited. I can select my row settings here, go to my column, and you see my two groups here. I can now go into this column, go to my layout, and then I can say, I want them side by side. So this is a group, as you can see here, and this is a group, and they're both side by side. And now let's say I want to design for my mobile views. I can come over here and say, okay, in this case, I want to change how things look. I can always come over here, change things around. But of course, I'm in the group. If I want to go back, in fact, let's keep our layout here. If I need to go back, I would come over here to my column. And right now you can see my direction for my column is row. I can say in here in my tablet, I want them to be stacked like that. And if I go to my phone, I also want them stacked. So this is where using, in fact, let's keep it stacked. Okay, let's go back over here now. So this is where it's really powerful to use the groups. Whereas if you're just trying to make your module look much better, it gets even really exciting, because then you're just focusing on one module which has modules inside it. So let's take a look at a few examples which we can use in our designs. Now I'm just going to fly through these and just come up with ideas on the fly as I'm designing this. So let's say I start designing over here. My starting point on this example here is going to be an image like that. I'm going to select my image, and let's go in and choose our image. So let's go with that. Okay, great. I have my image, and then with my image selected, I'm going to come over here to my content, go to my elements, and this time I want to add an element, and it's going to be my bar counter. So while we're here, I can go add a few more items. So let's say I want to go into my element here, add element inside, and let's go for social media, or I can even go for icons, but I'm just going to go for my social media follow, add all that, and then I can select my module here and then add all my networks. So I've got Facebook. I can go in, change the Facebook to, let's say, Instagram, for example, and then I can duplicate all my icons. You can see there, they're all being added. Now with all these added, I can also go to my layout here, make sure that my horizontal gap is set. So I can customize the horizontal gap here if I need to, and I can also align things centered here. So I've got so many options here to play around with. And with this now, I'm creating a custom module, but it started with my image. So if I go to the main item here, you can see that the image is the one that's selected. And for you to really see what's going on here, how about we go in and add some spacing. So I'm going to come over here, and we're going to add 2 rem around. So at least you can see that everything is all within one module, which is our image module. So again, I'm going to say 2 rem, and I'm going to add a background color. And notice right here on the top, it still says image. So I'm going to go to background. And then for my background color, I'm just going to add, how about we go with, I want to increase it a little bit. And there we go. So now our image here has everything inside it. And that is how you have a custom image module, which has all these items inside. So the question now is, with this, are we able to save it? Yes, absolutely. If you want to save this, you can save this to the library by coming over here. You give it a name, you can save it to the library and reuse it over and over again. If you have Divi Cloud, you can save everything to Divi Cloud, and that's where everything will be saved as well. And by the way, I have a Divi course, which is a mastery course. If you're someone that wants to learn Divi, if you head over to diviuniversity.com and go to courses, you'll notice that we have this Divi 5 Mastery course. This is a course which has already 762 students. It's only going for $27. So this is a course you need if you want to master Divi. I'll be adding a lot of lessons to it at no extra cost. And like I said, it's only $27. Go ahead and sign up. I'll leave a link to that in the video description below. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Let me know what you think about these two features and how you can apply them. Until next time, see you in the next one. Take care.